Hello, my name is Shadow X. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a few days, I've just been dealing with some personal stuff, but I'm back now, and it's time for What If Orochimaru Adopted Naruto Part 7. So, roll the intro. When Madara announces that he's starting the 4th Great Ninja War, Naruto activates his chains, firing at them. Then he uses a Rasengan, but Naruto just fades through Madara. Then Naruto jumps back to his seat. Then Hashirama says, You are not Madara Uchiha. Madara never had that power. You are an Uchiha, but you are not Madara. Your whole essence is completely different. Madara was just angry, but you're evil. Then Naruto says, well, it's been a while since I've used this technique, but it will work. Sage Art, Dragon Claws of Obliteration. Flashback 3 years. Naruto is training with Fafnir, and Fafnir says, Naruto, there are 3 legendary dragons I would like to introduce you to. So if you would do the reverse summoning jutsu on yourself to bring you back to my house, well, my cave anyway, I will introduce you to them. Then Fafnir disappears. Then Naruto does the reverse summoning to bring him back to Fafnir's cave. Then Naruto says, Fafnir, who are these dragons? Then 3 deeply ominous dragons say, Fafnir, is this the boy you were talking about? Then Fafnir says, yes, I believe he's ready for Sage Mode. Then the 3 dragons try to teach Naruto the Sage Mode, and it takes a year to complete and master. It only took this long in this version because Naruto didn't have the drive to do it, unlike in canon. End of flashback. Once Naruto enters the Dragon Sage mode, he rushes at the fake Madara, trying to kill him. He manages to land a brutal attack. Then Naruto uses Sage Art, Rasengan. Naruto creates a pure black Rasengan and shoves it into that Madara, cracking his mask. Then the Hokage says, wait, it can't be, he died in the 3rd Great Ninja War. That's Obito Uchiha. Then Naruto says, looks like another Uchiha's gonna die then. Naruto grabs his katana and forces it straight through Obito. But then the sword didn't hit him. Then Naruto says, I have an idea then. If your jutsu is if your teleportation is a chakra-based jutsu, this will work. Then Naruto throws a kunai at Obito, but Obito fades through the kunai. Then Naruto teleports behind the kunai, placing a seal on Obito. But this is not a normal flying Raijin seal. This seal, if the person who has the seal on them uses chakra, the seal completely stops the whole chakra network and shuts it down, slowly deteriorating it. So, then Naruto says, Obito Uchiha, you will never be able to use any form of ninjutsu, fuinjutsu, and genjutsu again. So, you are going to die now. Then, Hashirama, Tobirama, and Minato arrive out of the shadows. Then Naruto says, Tobirama, why are you here? No. Then Hashirama and Minato arrive out of the shadows. So do all of the other Kage's guards, using multiple attacks. Hashirama using his Wood Release, Deep Forest Bloom. Minato using a Rasengan. The Leafs guards using a Chidori and a Fireball Jutsu. The Kazekage's guards using sand-based ninjutsu. The Tsuchikage's guards using stone-based ninjutsu. The Mizukage's guards using water-based ninjutsu. And the Raikage's guards using lightning-based ninjutsu. Once they all hit, Obito is almost dead, but then Naruto says, looks like you're gonna be missing an eye. Naruto forces his hands into Obito's scalp and pulls out his eye. Then puts it in a jar and says this will be useful for later. Looks like it's about to evolve into a Rinnegan. Then Naruto puts it back into his windbreaker. Then Naruto says, every Kage, I believe, well, you know I use reanimations, but a lot of other people can. And if he was going to start a war without any nation's backing, he would have to use reanimation. So we are going to need to form the Shinobi Alliance. Then the Kazekage says, I have a good location for this. It's an old abandoned castle that used to be a fortress. The Naruto says, here, take this. Once you arrive at the fortress, throw it down on the floor and my team will appear with me. Then the Kazekage says, okay. Then they all get to paperwork. This takes about 2 hours to all complete. Then once it's all completed, Naruto says, okay, we are now the Great Shinobi Alliance. After this war, let's have peace. I do not want any nations to be destroyed in this war. So, including me, there are 5 incredibly strong ninjas in my village. The rest of people are Uzumakis, but they're not as strong. They're probably tuning, and I do not want them in this war. Then the Kazekage said, well, I have about 2,000 Jonins in my village. I'm only sending those out. Then the Raikage says, well, I have the 8 tails and the 2 tails, perfect Jinchurikis, and about 1,000 Jonin that will help. Then all the other nations say what they have. Then they all head back to their nations to tell them what's happening. Once they arrive back in the Whirlpool village, Naruto gathers everyone up and says, everyone, I and 5 others who are my guards are going to war to defend our nation. The person in charge will be Mito while I'm gone. So, treat her nicely, and if anyone else from outside the village comes in this village, if they manage to break the seal, I want everyone to head into the building below the library. Well, the floor below the library. The Naruto says, Earth Release, descending stairs jutsu. Then they all walk down 500 meters down in the earth. Then Naruto says, alright, Karin, activate your chains please. As they both activate their chains, unsealing the hidden earth door. Then they find a shelter room with everything they will need if anyone tries to attack our village. The Naruto says, only use this in an emergency. The emergency would be if any outsider were to come in this village, please enter here. I'll leave the door unlocked for everyone to get in, but once you're in the room, close the door and throw this ceiling tag on the door. You have enough food and water in here for the whole village to survive for a few years. But this war should only take about a month. I hope no one comes in this village so you can all stay in your homes, but if worst comes to worst, throw the tag. Well, if worst comes to worst, everyone come down here, throw the tag to seal the door, and once the war is over, I will undo the ceiling jutsu and making sure everyone is healthy. Then Naruto starts to cry and say, I do not want to lose any of you. You're all precious family to me. Then Naruto says, but I have to go to war. Then Naruto says, Karin, Minato, Ashirama, Tobirama, and Kushina, you're coming with me, and Mito, you're staying here protecting everyone. 2 days later, Naruto gets a feeling that the kunai's been thrown, so everyone grabs onto Naruto and they teleport to the sand. When they arrive, they find themselves in a massive stronghold. And Naruto says, alright, this is perfect for the main base of the Shinobi Alliance. Then Naruto creates a blood clone and says, I'm going to leave this clone here. I'm going to leave this clone here to deal with any problems you might have and to deal with all of the ninjas that you have lined up there. But me and my 5 team members are heading into the battlefield now because I can sense a massive army of something. Not reanimations yet, but there's something there. But there's probably a few 100,000. Me and my team can get rid of a lot of them, but when the reanimations come in, I will need everyone there. I know I'm strong, but I can't win a war alone. 2 hours later, Naruto and everyone else is heading to the battlefield. Cut back to the Shinobi Alliance headquarters. Naruto's blood clone is about to say a speech to everyone, and that speech is, everyone, I know we're all from different villages, but if you want to stay alive, we are going to have to work together. I don't care if you have any grudges with the person next to you or different villages, those end today. However, once we have finished this war, there will be peace, and all of the Kage have agreed to this. Then Naruto's clone rambled on about friendship and blood ties and all that crap. Then the clone headed back into the office, leaving everyone riled up, ready for a war. Cutting back to the actual Naruto, Karin, Hashirama, Tobirama, Kushina and Minato are rushing straight for Naruto says, they're rushing straight forward. Naruto says, everyone, prepare yourself, they're below us. Then Naruto uses Earth Release, Volcano Jutsu. This splits open the earth and creates a massive volcano. Then Naruto says, it's time to enter Sage Mode. Hashirama, Father, I know you both can do that as well. So we need this. We are going to need this power to win. Then Naruto, Hashirama, and Minato enter Sage Mode, and they're making quick work of Zetsus that appeared. Then Naruto says there's going to be a lot of them, so let's deal with them all quickly. Then Minato throws 500 kunais around and is teleporting between a lot of them, slicing the heads off the Zetsus. Once all of the Zetsus on that battlefield are dead, Naruto receives a communication from his clone, saying, the reanimations have appeared just like you thought, boss. They're on the battlefield next to you. And Naruto says, everyone, the reanimations have arrived. They're on the next battlefield. Let's head there quickly. Then Naruto gets another communication from his clone saying, there are a lot of ninjas there fighting already, but they need your help. Then Naruto remembers he bumped fists with a lot of people, and thinking, then Naruto enters his mindscape and says, Kurama, is there anyone with any remnants of your chakra in that battlefield? Then Kurama says, yes, there are 5 people. Then Naruto says, alright, my chakra should be there. Well, our chakra's there, so I will be able to teleport there. So Naruto says, everyone, grab onto my shoulder. Then Naruto teleports, sending them all to the battlefield. Then Naruto sees all of the former Kage. Then Naruto starts to get a bit mad, knowing that all the former Kage should be in their eternal rest, but they're being summoned to fight for an evil man's war. Then Naruto goes into his 5-tail state, then Naruto says, Wind Release, Rasen Shuriken, and Naruto throws it. The Rasen Shuriken at most of the Kage, but some jump out of the way, but then that's when the Rasen Shuriken expands, hitting all of the former Kage. And then Naruto says, Hashirama, Tobirama, seal them, and Mum, seal them as well. Then Kushina uses Uzumaki Style, Twin Blue Dragon Sealing, and then Hashirama and Tobirama Hashirama uses Wood Style, Forest Sealing Jutsu, then Tobirama uses Water Release, Water Dragon Sealing. This seals all of the former Kage and sending them back to their resting grounds. Then Naruto receives another communication from his clone saying, 16 men with a black cloak with red clouds on it have appeared in the battlefield that is about 20 minutes away from you. Then Naruto starts to get angry, realising this is the Akatsuki that have hunted him his whole life. Then Naruto says, well, I'm going to need something powerful to deal with these. Naruto bites his thumb and creates a cross with blood on his hand, an X with blood on his hand. Then Naruto uses the summoning jutsu. This brings out the Shikaku. Then Naruto says, Shikaku, I know I sealed you in that hideous person. But in the sealing formula, I messed with the sealing formula, allowing me to break the seal anytime I wanted, and that would also summon you here. Then Naruto said, I need your help winning this war. The Akatsuki are here. Please help. If you do, I will make sure no one ever steals you in a human again, if that's your wish. Then Shikaku says, ha! You've got a deal, boy. Then Naruto says, alright, everyone, start. They all rush to where the Akatsuki are. Then Naruto says, I've wanted to kill all of you for a long time. Then Naruto notices each one of them has a Sharingan and one Rinnegan. Naruto says, wait, this can't be. Then Naruto realizes 6 of them have 2 Rinnegan's as well. Then Naruto says, so these must be the paths of pain and the reanimated Akatsuki. Naruto heads into his full Nine-Tail state. Then Minato heads into his proper, Master Sage Mode state, and so does Hashirama. Then Naruto activates a Tail Beast Bomb, infusing it with lightning release, then swallowing it. Then he fires it at the enemy, creating a lightning fast laser. Then Kurama says, well, Tanuki, or should I say Shikaku, your help is going to be needed. Fire a wind bullet. Then Shikaku uses wind release, wind vacuum bullet. Shikaku creates a massive vacuum bullet after hitting his chest. Then Naruto reverts back into his Sage state and uses fire release, majestic flame destroyer. This adds to the wind vacuum bullet and creates a massive pale blue fire, which is sent at the Akatsuki, burning them all except Itachi Uchiha. Then Naruto says, you're going to die, Itachi, for what you did to the Uchiha clan. Then Naruto rushes behind Itachi, cutting off his neck, but Itachi uses the Susanoo. Naruto says, I've read about this. This must be the famous Susanoo. Well, I hope you don't have the eternal Mangekyo, considering, from what I've heard, your brother stole your eyes when he killed you, so he must have it. He's on the battlefield as well, just somewhere else. I didn't want him to see you in your state. Then Naruto grabs his katana and slices Itachi's head off. Then Naruto uses Uzumaki style, universal sealing. Naruto seals Itachi into a small black orb. Then Naruto crushes it into his hand and says, you shall never be revived again. Then Naruto and everyone else attack the paths of pain. Naruto thinks, alright, because they have the Rinnegan, their sight will be connected to each other, so this might be a time to test out something new. Naruto jumps into the air and says Sage Art, Dragon Song. This is like the Sage Art Frog song used in canon, but it's for the Dragon Sage. Back to the story. All the paths of pain, their vision has been disconnected from everyone else. Then all the paths of pain are rushing at everyone. But then Minato uses Frog Kumite, surprising Naruto, thinking, oh, my old man's got some more talent than I thought he had. And then he obliterates 4 of the paths of pain, and Naruto says, oh, let me do the rest. Naruto creates a massive lightning-style Rasengan. Flashback 3 years ago, before Naruto had his Sage training, he was messing around with the Rasengan trying to change the nature form. Then Naruto realised, oh, I can add all the forms to it and it changes this style a bit. This is going to be interesting. So that heading back to the original time, Naruto throws the lightning style Rasengan at one of the paths of pain, electrocuting him. Then Naruto says, time to take your eyes. But Naruto grabs the eyes, but they just turn into dust, and Naruto thinks, alright, these aren't the Rinnegan. Well, not the original ones anyway, these just a copy. Then Naruto grabs one of the black rods from their body and says, oh, chakra rods, so they're all already dead. Naruto shoves it into his hand, saying, he is near. Naruto grabs the rod out of his hand and says, everyone, I'm gonna be out for a second. Defeat the last path of pain. Then Naruto rushes to the chakra signature and finds 2 people, an Uzumaki and a blue-haired woman. Naruto says, so you must be pain, but you're also an Uzumaki, and let me just tell you, I am the leader of Uzumaki clan and I do not allow this. I am going to kill you now. Then Pain releases a massive rod, firing it straight at Naruto, but Naruto just punches it, shattering the rod. Then Naruto goes up to Pain and punches him in the gut and saying, your eyes are now mine. Naruto just takes the eyes out and cuts off Pain's head. Then he goes to the blue-haired woman and say, you're cute, why don't you join my village? But then Naruto says, wait, no, you're evil. So Naruto grabs his katana and slices her up into 10 bits. Then Naruto heads back to his friends and family and says, that was dealt with. The true Pain is gone. Now, I believe someone here might want these. Then Naruto puts them back. Then Naruto puts the jar with the 2 Rinnegan's in his windbreak and says, "After the war, I'll give it to the person who most deserves it." Then they get another communication saying, "The real Madara Uchiha has arrived at the battlefield." Then they all head to that location. Once they arrive, Madara says, "Hashirama, it's good to see you, old friend." Then Hashirama says, "No, it's not good to see you." Then Madara uses the summoning jutsu to summon the Gedo statue. Then 5 of the 9-tailed beasts come out and rush at Naruto. But Naruto activates his 9-tailed state and uses a tail beast bomb, destroying the Gedo statue and releasing the tail beast that was sealed inside of it. Then Naruto rushes up to Madara and says, "Sealing jutsu complete." Naruto put the sealing tag for the flying Raijin, but the unique one, on Madara's back. It says, "You cannot activate chakra now. Hashirama, deal with him. I know you've wanted to kill him for a while, because what he had done, well, I know you want to release the reanimation on him, so do it." Alright guys, this is where I'm going to leave off. What if Naruto was adopted by Orochimaru Part 7. Hope you enjoyed.